it always pops up the same size. Not much over here on the right that's out of view, but I'll resize it. Let's take a look first at the Trust Center. There are a few important pieces here. The first thing is about privacy. Microsoft cares about your privacy, as it says right here. So they don't distribute your private information, your personal information, and they really try to make sure that you're not being a victim of a phishing attack and items such as that. So you can read more on that if you want to. I just wanted to bring that up since it's in this dialog box. What I think is pretty important is this Microsoft Windows Security Center. This is something that can really help fortify your personal computer. This is not specifically Excel. We accessed it via the Excel options, but you can get this from your control panel on your own personal computer or your work personal computer. Here's what's important: firewalls, automatic updates, and virus protection. I want to say, if you work in a corporate environment, this has to do with how your IT department wants to handle this. In the home world, you do want to make sure that you set up these items. A firewall is something that's going to limit attackers from sending information to your PC. It limits what type of protocol, what type of data is allowed to be transferred to and from your computer, and it can really help secure you against attacks. It can also help secure you against having openings in your system. These are called ports that you don't know about, and someone can just come in through your cable modem to a port that you have not secured with a firewall, access your data, or even take over your computer and make it a zombie to their network. So firewalls, turning those on, are very good. In a corporate environment, no doubt about it, you're going to have a network firewall on the outside of your entire network. Automatic updates are fantastic, and you can tell I've got these all on. Automatic updates. These are Microsoft's patches for holes that have been discovered in their operating systems and in their applications. Now, Microsoft is the biggest vendor for these items, so attackers have always wanted to attack Microsoft. They're a plum target. No matter what you think about Microsoft, the fact is they have the biggest market share, therefore they're the biggest target to be attacked. So when they realize at Microsoft that there's a hole, that something needs to be patched in Excel or Outlook or the Windows operating system, they'll send out an automatic update. They'll send out an update. If you have automatic updates turned on, it can automatically be pushed down to your system. You can choose to install it and therefore fortify your computer. You can always go out to windowsupdate.com on your own to find updates, or you can allow them to be pushed down onto your system. Virus protection. There are tons of malicious people out there that generate viruses. Virus can be something that takes over your computer and destroys all your data. It can be something that just replicates like a worm. A worm is different than a virus, but they're pretty much all put into the same package, the same idea now. It can be something like a worm that just replicates itself all across the entire network and brings down all types of network environments. It can be a malicious program like a Trojan horse program that actually logs what you type on your keyboard, a keyboard logger, like your special password. So by having virus protection installed and up to date, because you need it up to date because these bad guys are creating viruses every single day. So if you have old antivirus software, it's doing you no good against these new viruses. So you do want to have virus protection installed, and you can set it up to automatically update with the vendor also. So security is of the utmost importance for your efficiency, for your privacy, and of course for anybody's sensitive data that exists on your PC as well. Of course, there are links over here, resources, so you can find out more information on your own. But hopefully, it's something that you already have set on your system. Security, very important. You also have the Trust Center settings here. We're in our Trust Center message bar. This is where you can limit whether or not ActiveX applications are shown, are displayed, what you're blocking, all sorts of different details within this Trust Center can help you nail down, hey, who are you going to trust? What locations are okay to open files from? Add-ins. Only allow add-ins that are signed with that digital signature from a trusted publisher. ActiveX settings could, ActiveX programs could also have viruses built in with them or bad pieces of code, so you can be very cautious about what ActiveX settings you allow. I do have prompt me before enabling these controls. You've probably noticed it on your own computer. You have a yellow bar that pops up at the top of an application or maybe your browser, and it tells you that the program is trying to install an ActiveX control. Is that okay? Macro settings. I have disable all macros with notification, but I might want to take all of them that are signed. That's okay. It depends on your environment, again, how often you're using macros and how trusted they are. The message bar, this is that message bar that's yellow that tells me that something has been blocked. External content. I want to be prompted about data connections because I want to know what I'm connecting to, who's trying to connect to me, so I have some control over it. I could lay down the law, though, and disable all data connections, but that's probably not too efficient if I'm trying to get some work done. And here are those privacy options. I like this one. Check Microsoft Office documents that are from or link to suspicious websites. This plays into the whole idea that there are phishing websites out there and Microsoft's trying to protect you. A phishing website is that portrays itself as something that it's not, just so it can grab your account number, your password information, your eBay login, and they can suck your accounts dry just because you think that you're talking to your bank, but you're really not. So Microsoft is trying to prevent that. We also have resources here in our Excel options. Get updates, those are the Windows updates we were just talking about. Run Microsoft Diagnostics. This doesn't have to do with security, this has to do with the behavior of your installation of Microsoft Office. If you notice it's not performing like you think it should, you can diagnose it and your PC will do its best to repair the program so that you don't have to uninstall it and reinstall it. Of course, you can contact Microsoft and let them know what you think. Activating Microsoft Office. This is to prevent piracy, so that I don't have a stolen copy, a pirated copy of Office installed. When I install it, it asks me to activate it. If I don't activate it within 30 days, I simply can't use it. This activation feature came about in the XP products, the XP operating system, and then Office XP, which was the 2002 version. I could go right on out to Microsoft Online, and here I can see my version. I'm in Excel 2007, which is referred to as Excel number 12. That about does it for all of our security options. The last thing I'd like to mention is back up your data. If you have a very important spreadsheet that's stored on your C drive and your C drive crashes, your document is going to be gone. So make sure that if you're a home user, you have an external hard drive that you store all this very important information to, or back it up to DVDs or CDs or one of those external flash drives, those thumb drives. Those are getting pretty large now. If you work in a corporate environment and you store your spreadsheets out to a file server, chances are they're being backed up on a regular basis, maybe even hourly. Something worth you checking into, though, within your own environment, just to make sure that you don't lose your precious data. Because after all, there's a reason why we spend all this time in Excel adding information and making changes. In this day and age, it seems like everyone's out to attack your system. So hopefully you have some ideas on how you can encrypt the data, how you can digitally sign it to help prevent it from being tampered with, how you can protect your file with a password, and where you can go for all sorts of different resources to make sure that you have a firewall, the latest updates, and of course to make sure that you do have the appropriate antivirus software. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.